Hey you guys, it's Britt. Tonight I'm here to talk to you once again about Kimbyrleigha and the whole anti-MLM situation. So if you're interested in hearing some updated thoughts, please keep watching. All right, you guys, so this situation is somewhat interesting for me personally because, as some of you might know, I've discussed the channel Without a Crystal Ball a handful of times previously, just because everything that she does is so relentless and mindless and consistent. It's interesting, and people want to hear my opinion on it. I didn't think that anyone could even give Without a Crystal Ball a run for her money. However, Kimbyrleigha, I think, could be in a race with Without a Crystal Ball. She is relentless. She's consistently playing the victim. She goes back and forth with people who oppose her. And it's all just comical, honestly. Now, when I say comical, I don't mean what she's doing is funny, because she's actually potentially hurting people who don't realize what an MLM is. And before we get too far into the video, I do want to tell you guys, I realize that some of you don't know what MLM stands for when I talk about it. That is a multi-level marketing company, very similar to a pyramid scheme, but it's not a pyramid scheme because those are illegal. But it's the same business structure, basically. But she could actually potentially be hurting people that have no clue what they're getting into, and that's not their fault. It's the MLM representatives' fault for tricking people into joining something where 99% of people do not make a profit. They are free, and I compare them to turkey buzzers in another video. You guys thought that was hilarious, but that's literally what they remind me of. They just swoop right in and take, anyone who's willing to join their downline. They'll act like they care about you and they don't. It's just gross. But I was told that Kimbyrleigha went on a little Instagram, rant fest, if you will. I have a couple of the screenshots here. I want to share them with you, and then of course insert my comments as we go through this. But this is a message that she responded to. So I'm going to read her response. I don't know who this person is, not a clue. I'm assuming that it was a subscriber that felt duped, just like many other people felt duped by her. So Kay's response says, I never lied about being anti-MLM. I was anti-MLM until I wasn't. Okay. Until I realized that nothing in this world is black and white. Until I realized that there's humans behind every single reaction video. Until I saw the comments from people that I knew within the anti-MLM community hurting people. When I saw the hatred videos in sight, I wanted nothing to do with it. I'll say the same thing about the anti-MLM community that I do about the commentary community, the drama community, beauty gurus, cooking channels, craft channels. Every genre on YouTube has a community. And just because there are a few people within that community that might not be doing it right, that doesn't mean that every single beauty guru is trash, or every single person with a craft channel is, dumb. Like, you cannot just say, well, everyone is this. You can say, I've come to this conclusion based on what I've seen, and I've seen some consistent behaviors from certain people. But you can't just act like the entire anti-MLM community is bad, because here's the thing. The anti-MLM community is here to help people make the decision that's best for them by showing things like income disclosure statements and sharing MLM horror stories of people who were able to get out of their MLM, and whether or not they lost $5,000 or $50, It's here to educate those who haven't been taken advantage of yet. And the intentions are good. I'm sure that there are some anti-MLM creators who are more vicious, mean-spirited. That's just the way it is within, creators on YouTube. There are going to be some that are hateful, mean, and vicious, but it's not fair to blanket that statement when you created the drama that you're having with a couple of the people in the anti-MLM community. The ball was in your court, and you chose to have this toxic back and forth battle with a few people in the anti-MLM community. The part where she said, until I realized that there's humans behind every single reaction video, why would you think that they aren't humans? Were they robots or something? Like, this is something that all of us know. Anytime I react to anything, I know that it's a real person that made that video. However, just because it's a person behind that video that you're watching doesn't mean that you're not allowed to criticize them and give your opinion on what they were saying, and also debunk things as needed. And come to the table with the income disclosure statements or other stories that show that these MLMs are predatory and there's a 99% failure rate. You're not going to, retire your husband and, all your kids are going to be going to Harvard and everyone's driving a Range Rover. That is the false reality that the MLM Huns are selling to really naive people who are sometimes in a desperate situation. And then the MLM Hun comes around, and unfortunately, those are the people that end up taking the dive because they are at the end of their rope financially. And it just crushes my heart to see stuff like that, because I understand the feeling of desperation when you have no money and you feel like, what am I going to do? I can see why someone who doesn't know anything about MLMs might take a gamble with that, especially if the MLM Hun is a friend or a family member. Most of these people that have been making videos about me have never talked to me. Pump the brakes. Does that not sound like without a crystal ball? Dear Kay, nobody needs your permission to provide their commentary on things that you're doing on the internet. Just like nobody needs my permission to talk about me on the internet. Now, I have every right to debunk lies or myths that are being put out, but nobody needs me to sign their permission slip to make a video about me. That's just the way that commentary works. Now, if you're stepping into the zone of actual defamation or slander, then that's a completely different ball game. But if someone is only reacting to things that you've actually done, nobody needs to ask you. Welcome to putting your life on the internet. Next, she said, they don't know me. They're taking information from other people and spreading more and more lies and perpetuating a story/narrative that doesn't exist, or I think she said never existed. As far as taking information and gathering an opinion off of that information, based on what I know, the videos that I have seen, and I've seen several from different creators, have all shown parts of a video from Kay of things that she actually said, things that she actually put up on Instagram. So it's not like the game of telephone where one person started with this crazy conspiracy and it's just kind of trickled its way through YouTubers. These are reactions to things that she actually said or did. So I don't understand where the lies or the misinformation comes. It sounds to me like she just doesn't want anyone talking about her, and nobody's allowed to have an opinion about her unless it's her herself. She loves to go with the, 100 Instagram story things. This next one says, you're only proving that you hate people who are in multi-level marketing, no matter whether they are good or bad people. The fact that they're just working this type of business gets under your skin so much, you're willing to do all of this. I don't know what all of this is. Filming a reaction video or giving your opinion on it, I don't see how that equates to all of this. She sort of pitches it like it's this over-the-top, grand production. It's just YouTube videos, it's just opinions. And as long as you're sharing your opinions and letting people know that opinions are not facts, then you have every right to give your commentary on the situation. Like I said, unless you are crossing into the defamation or slander category, but 99.999% of commentary and drama channels, I have not seen a step into that zone. And as far as hating people who are in multi-level marketing companies, the reason that they have such a scarlet letter is because of the proof that is out there. There is, testimony from people who have gotten away from their MLMs that have shared their story of how their upline verbally abused them or expected them to work through really trying times in their life. There was one Beachbody coach that told their downline, you need to work even if your dog is at the vet. If my boss ever told me, any boss, it doesn't matter, if someone in upper management told me that I was expected to sit on my phone and send cold calls out the entire time that I am at the vet with my dog, that would be my last day working for that company. And I would also sign off with a very honest and brutal response to that. The reason that people don't like MLM Huns is because they are all cookie cutter. They all do the same thing. They all say the same nonsense day after day. It's almost predictable. The crazy claims with oils being able to cure disease and viruses, or that Monat will give you the best hair of your life, even though it's been proven to cause hair loss and scalp sores. The endless lies and predatory behavior and toxic relationships built between an upline and a downline, and just all of the documented proof on all of those subtopics, is why people cannot stand MLMs. Has really not a whole lot to do with the business itself, but it's the practices that these people do, it's the claims that they make, and it's the endless false promises, consistently saying, you're going to be rich and all of this kind of stuff. And then when you come to them with the cold hard facts and say, well, can you explain your income disclosure statement, then you're shut down and you're just a hater. So maybe this is the perfect business opportunity for Kay. It seems like she's going to fit right in. And it goes on to say, and to think most of you have actually been in MLMs is the most laughable part of all. Can you imagine treating someone the way you're treating me? Not effective. As far as people in the anti-MLM community being in an MLM, duh, like, I hate to say duh like that, but come on, like, of course people that were in MLMs are going to turn anti-MLM because they're going to see the shady business practices and how they take advantage of people who just don't know any better. So yes, once they leave the MLM, they are going to be anti-MLM. It doesn't take a genius to figure that out. And as far as the way she's being treated, I think that this goes back to the victimhood of her as a person, where people criticizing her and saying, wow, this is wrong. We've never seen anything like this before, where someone was anti-MLM and then joins one of the worst ones of them all. We've never seen this before. So it is shocking and it's infuriating for some more than others. So yes, people are going to be upset and they have every right to be. I don't think that anyone is per se treating her poorly. I don't know what she's getting out there because she didn't really elaborate at all. But if people are, and I said the same thing about Without a Crystal Ball, if people are quite literally harassing her or being really, really vile, I don't think that it needs to come to that, because at the end of the day, you always catch more bees with honey than vinegar. So just going off on someone is not going to, they're not even going to give you the time of day. But on the same side, I also understand why people are so aggravated. I could only imagine, especially with like the stories that I shared in my last video and with her members, you know, those people have every right to be more upset than, you know, the rest of us do. But we've never seen this before. It is shocking. And then to see someone like her continue to build the narrative that everyone's just being mean, you're all haters, and all of this kind of stuff, it really falls back into how all the MLM Huns act. So that's why I think that Monat is going to be a perfect fit for her. At the end of the day, in my opinion, I would rather get her out of the anti-MLM community now instead of later, so that then we can all move forward and continue to spread the message of why MLMs are bad. They're bad business practices. They are spreading misinformation and false promises and stealing money from people who are vulnerable or just not educated in how an MLM actually is designed to make 99% of people fail. So we will continue to spread that message and keep moving forward. She will continue to be bitter and upset. I can guarantee it. She is going to continue to post stories like this and continue to, you know, run the victim card until she can't anymore. I'll continue to cover Kay as she causes more shenanigans, because like Without a Crystal Ball, I think that this is very interesting, and I know that you guys are interested as well. So it's just crazy to me. It really, really is. And she would have been better off if this is what she wanted to do and she wanted to join the MLM. She should have made her announcement and let it go. Stop posting all the stories. Stop posting cryptic messages. Just make your decision and leave the anti-MLM community alone. Don't look over here. You can't sit with us. You're done now. So pack your bags and get over to the Monat headquarters, because you're going to fit real well over there. So those are my recent thoughts on the whole Kay anti-MLM situation. We'll see how this continues to unfold, but for now, if you like the video, please leave a like and a comment. And if you'd like to see more from me in the future, please subscribe. I'll see you guys soon. Bye.